I was looking for
go.
something on my computer.
Hey, welcome to On the Chain. welcome to On the Chain. This is Jeff here with co-host Chip. Chip's trying to talk over the idea that we're getting ready to get started. Everyone's fired up here saying go, go, go. And Jim D saying, come on, chill out, guys. They're prepping.
We were prepping.
We're
with
sitting
banter
behind. We're just
and laughter.
sitting there cracking up, talking about all sorts of cool things. But hey, we have a show before the show while you guys are having a show in the show. But today, Chip, Ripple and XRP, how'd you know we were going to talk about that?
Really?
Securities, cryptocurrency, securities. You know what? Out of all of this, and John Deaton was kind of spot on calling them schizophrenic, but I'm looking at this and I say, are they completely delusional? Is the SEC completely, out of whack, with everything, every direction, every approach? And there's so many crazy things going on. But you know what? We come back day after day, fired up, and people in the community are fired up because there's so many amazing new things to learn about, like Binance Smart Chains and all that stuff going on behind the scenes in the gaming space and in
Metaverse.
the Metaverse. And man, it's just crazy stuff happening day in and day out. And shit, man, I'm fired up for today because we're going to talk about some of that stuff.
Well, let's do it. Let's go.
Let's do it.
Welcome to On the Chain.
You got to give me a little bit of heads up. We're going live. You're like, we're live. I was like, what? Usually I say, okay, I'm clicking go live.
It's send.
And there's like two buttons.
I forgot I clicked the first one already.
I was like, yeah, I clicked. I'm going live. I'm like, I think I have time. There's no time, man. What was everybody doing? Guys, drop where you're from, the city and the country. We'd love to see where everybody's coming in from all the time. If you're watching on the playback, toss it in the comments. I'd love to see those comments show up as well. So yeah, it's schizophrenic. That is funny. The schizophrenic. It's about the size of it. It's so funny with the internet. It's people forget. They're like, I didn't say that. Well, I have you on video saying it. That wasn't me. We have the text. We have the video.
That was somebody else. They edited. They photoshopped it.
It's like Joe Lubin. I don't think as he's seeing all this stuff being passed around the internet, I think he's forgotten he did so much stuff out there. Like, I'll be honest with you, Jeff. So somebody liked a tweet of mine from December of 2020. And it was like, so-and-so liked the tweet. And I read the tweet and I was like, oh. And then I saw that it was my tweet and I was like, oh. I was like, I had no recollection of sending it. It was really bizarre. It was about the former chair, Jay Clayton. I had just a mini rant about it. And I had no recollection of it. So, but it was there. There it was. I don't know why somebody went back that far on my feed, but Rochester, New York. There you go.
Check that out, man.
House of Guitars. Is House of Guitars still there? That was a great place. I used to love going there, man.
It's amazing. That's right in between Syracuse and Buffalo. What do you think of that?
Yeah, Rochester is great, man.
Rochester.
Sweden, dude. Look at this. Hello.
Sweden. Man,
then we Netherlands in the house.
Where's Netherlands? I skipped over there. We got Aberdeen, Scotland.
Aberdeen, wow, look at there you go. Tesla.
Nice. Look at that.
CCC,
that's awesome.
Beautiful.
Then we got San Fran. I saw
Texas.
New York here.
Miami's in the house.
Yeah. Awesome. What is up? XRP to the moon.
Hello, brothers. Hello, XRP moon.
Dude, look at this. Royal Oak, Michigan.
Oh, yes. What a great place to hang.
There you go.
Royal Oak.
Good places. A lot of good places over there.
Yeah, I think we should start off with something. I wanted to start off. So, you want something a little more serious, a little more fun? You want to just hold off?
Let's go with serious.
Let's go with serious first. You want to start out with that?
If we go with fun, then we'll never get serious.
That's a good point. That is a very solid point right there that you're making.
Bring us back to seriousness.
All right, well, let's do that then. Let's go ahead. Let's start off with this John Deaton tweet where he talks about the SEC again. They are absolutely out of their minds, Jeff. I mean, quite honestly. Let's put this tweet up right here. And let's show this. And this is John Deaton. Of course, says the SEC informs the judge. Well, let's read it first here. So here to learn at abracadabra pretender. I don't even know what that is, Jeff. It's so many words, letters together. I'm not sure I can even read it.
Where you're looking?
I was just looking here. The at right there at abaca para prender. I don't know.
Oh, right up there. Yeah. Yep.
So it says the SEC, we can't answer interrogatory 6 because we don't declare things securities in a vacuum. Judge, fair point. Also, SEC, XRP in a vacuum is a security. So, what? And there it is right there. Firmly state whether it consists Bitcoin and Ether as securities with micro comprehension of how the SEC operates, blah, blah, blah. And then this one here, holy cow. The SEC has explained to Ripple that it does not typically determine whether a particular financial instrument is or is not a security. And then, of course, John, crazy stuff, right? All over the map.
This is nonstop.
So
and Diane's from Baldwinsville. I wonder if that's Baldwinsville, New York.
Interesting.
Baldwinsville, New York is on the. I have no idea. There's probably lots of them. But
probably are a few of them
outskirts of Syracuse.
Throughout the So the SEC informs the judge that the SEC does not typically decide whether a particular instrument is a security per se. But at the same time, it argues that because Ripple created a secondary market for XRP, all XRP in the secondary market are securities. It's schizophrenic. It's insane. It's nuts. It's like they want it both ways, Jeff. It's like every single XRP sold in the secondary market, a security. What the?
This is, it's insane. It really is insane, but this all goes back, the whole schizophrenic nature within government is very obvious. So when I saw that, oh yeah, it is Baldwinsville, New York. There you go. So, so it's interesting because this all goes back to this idea within democracies that, you have this schizophrenic nature of a democracy. And I've talked about this book forever. And it's demophrenia, which is the schizophrenic nature within the democracy. And we're seeing it again firsthand within the infrastructure, of our political organizations. And, they just, man, sometimes it's just too much for them to handle, to have power, And so what is that, that saying, absolute power corrupts absolutely. And this is what you get, because for the most part, these guys are unelected officials, that were appointed to position, and they hold significant amounts of power. So if they have so much power, think about what could potentially happen on the outcome. And here you go. I guess, we're seeing exactly that.
Well, if it wasn't a federal case, a lot of times you might throw some things out there and see what sticks, but you can't have it both ways in this arena, right? You can't, and then it starts looking like crazy town, right? And that's kind of where we're at. Everything's looking a little bit bizarre. Saw this really interesting article. This was another good one written over here on CoinSpeaker, but SEC accused of deliberately trying to kill XRP by favoring Ethereum. What's that all about?
I like that title. I like deliberate.
Deliberate, like with intent, Jeff. So the SEC has been accused of corruption in its dealings with the crypto industry, especially regarding its relationship with XRP, and talks about the ongoing legal tussle between the SEC and the crypto payment protocol Ripple. It's taken a new turn. The bone of the contention is that the SEC is biased towards Ethereum over Ripple's native token XRP. In fact, John Deaton, founder of Crypto Law and managing partner of the Deaton Law Firm, has stated some interesting findings alleging corruption in the SEC. According to Deaton, former SEC chairperson Jay Clayton nursed, I like that word, Jeff, nursed a hidden agenda to promote ETH at the expense of XRP in 2018. And then Clayton met with the head of the leading VC firm, Andreessen Horowitz, asking him to arrange a meeting. So yeah, there was a lot of stuff going on there. And we talked about this before, but they sort of like really break it down in an article, which is kind of nice because, again, to people, Jeff, what about people that aren't really familiar with some of this stuff and these, and again, improprieties, right? It's not a good look. What do you think they're reading this for the first time?
Yeah, I think a lot of people are shocked, and it's, stuff like this has happened for so long and it's gone relatively unnoticed. And in the past, if you brought stuff like this up, people would look at you first. Most people, weren't so involved and trying to learn about this stuff, so, you'd bring anything politically up and they would kind of, all of a sudden, their eyes would glaze over and they would change the subject, typically back to sports or some other topic, but now, you get into it And, people are very, very focused on the fact that there's some, significant improprieties that are going on across the board. It's not just the SEC. So, it would be interesting if it was, just the SEC. But since we're so hyper focused on the crypto space, it's very, very obvious and relevant to us to see what's trending and what's going on. But you could see the similar, and we talked about this a little bit yesterday, you see the similar kind of things happening within the CDC, and then you'll see, obviously, within Congress, we see, what's going on with some of the congressional representation, over long periods of time. And then you start realizing, who's pulling their strings, who are they really fighting in favor of? Yet these individuals get elected year after year after year, and they never do the bidding of the people that sent them there. But people keep voting for them. For the most part, people are going to vote not based on what people, what these individuals do or don't do. They're just strictly going to vote for the sake of voting. So, sometimes you can also make that, argument that, people really need to be a little bit better educated on the topics. And so for this specific purpose, when we start looking at, financials and cryptocurrency, man, this is something the SEC and the government just completely was blindsided on the fact that there are thousands, tens of thousands, maybe hundreds of thousands, probably a couple million at least, that are extremely hyper focused on what's happening right now in the crypto space. And they don't know what to do. They just don't know how to handle all of us. And that's the best part. So it's a massive, massive awakening. And it's the greatest thing to see.
Hopefully I hit the mute switch quick enough. I felt a sneeze coming on for like the last 3 minutes of your conversation there. I was like, is it gonna hit me? Well, probably it did actually. So luckily I hit the mute quick enough. But well, let's go back to this right here because it's so funny. So you have this government watchdog sues the SEC over the conflict of interest regarding XRP, ETH, and other crypto. This was in Power Oversight. Whoa, we got red tonight. It's always weird how what they deem their highlight color to be on a web page. They wanted to investigate the SEC's motivation behind several accusations. They requested internal documents from the regulatory agency. This is a FOIA request, and the funny thing is, the FOIA request really, I don't think they've done it yet. I don't think they've actually turned it over. Former senior officials William Hinman received millions of dollars in compensation from his former employer, Simpson Thacher, which we've heard Deaton talk a lot about, while helping guide the SEC's regulation of cryptocurrencies. Yeah, something seems a little bit off in that, right? It's like, well, over here we'll guide it, but over here we'll take a little bit of money, right? So that's pretty much what happens in Washington, D.C. Money and power, and throw in a little bit of corruption, and the whole thing is just crazy. Hinman declared that Ethereum cryptocurrency Ether was not a security. After the declaration, Ether's value rose significantly. After departing the SEC in late 2020, Hinman conveniently went back to Simpson Thacher as a partner. But he really never left it because, according to John Deaton, he was still on the dole, Jeff. I think he was still on the money thing. And this was a solid article. I thought it was well written. Again, it's just good to see people, notwithstanding. Garlinghouse now says he expects ongoing legal skirmish with the SEC to conclude next year. Speaking to CNBC, the CEO said the judge is now asking good questions. That's really good.
That is good. Now you have a judge that is understanding the space a little bit more and understanding which questions to ask, and also, understanding, how the SEC's approaches. I just want to throw this one up, and I thought this was, interesting based on, this quote, Stanley Kubrick, also from Clockwork Orange.
Yes.
So be suspicious of people who have or who crave power. Never, ever go near power. Don't become friends with anyone who has real power. It's dangerous. That's
yeah.
Interesting statement if you start reading into it and get a pretty good understanding of what that means.
But again, a true statement of sorts. And I saw this tweet here. BabaCugs put this out today, and we have to keep you reminded. It's like they're looking at, here's a screenshot saying, well, Alphabet, which is the Google parent company, they're up 67%. You have Microsoft up 54%. Apple's up 35%. There's Amazon too. But we forget that in a year, XRP is up 288%, and people are still complaining about it because they forget that it went down to 20 cents after, in January of 2021. And so there's a 288%. It's gone up. I mean, it's an amazing sort of return.
It's not a bad return, all things considered.
Right.
Chip, when putting it into that perspective to other things that you can invest in, I think what happens is that when people are looking at some of these assets, we're looking at Shiba Inu as an example, and people are looking at the, multi-million percent, increase. And that's not, that happens, but I mean, that's, you're not people, the majority of people aren't able to take advantage of that. Almost everybody out there had an easy opportunity to invest in XRP a year ago. You just had to go onto an exchange. Some of these other assets are still difficult to access, as you and I know, very well, trying to move, different assets around from ERC20 exchanges and the cost associated, and then trying to bridge different assets, and then
it's a nightmare, Jeff.
Move over to the BSC, the Binance smart chains, and holy crap, it's like
you and I have been dealing with that. It's back and forth, expletives, back and forth. Like what? A lot of WTFs.
It's unreal.
Like,
it's unreal, but anybody can get XRP. You go onto any one of these exchanges. Now it's a little harder because, but you can go to Uphold, you can go to Bitroot. There's still a lot of exchanges
in the US, but I mean, pretty much everywhere else, a lot of people relisted it as well. So Jeff, just kind of like as a segue here, I want to go down, it's the end of the year. We're heading into 2022. We're going into season 2 of our podcast, which thank you guys very much, but also subscribe to the audio podcast, wherever you listen to podcasts, whether it's Google or Apple or Stitcher or Spotify, we are there. And sometimes it's just easier to take us with you, and you missed an episode, just click that on and listen in the car or wherever, the truck, wherever you're going. But probably one of my favorite videos, I kind of was looking for, you're looking for something and you end up finding other stuff. I came across this video, and this is probably one of my favorite videos. There's another one. Well, maybe we'll play it tomorrow night. But one of my favorite videos, and again, it's all about XRP, but I love this video so much. I must have watched it about 8 times today. Not that I'll do that to everybody tonight, but it's just one of the greatest things ever. So let's look at this one. So this is Keem. He goes at Keemstar. Funny thing is, Jeff, this guy's from my hometown, and his birthday is on a birthday of 3 of my relatives. That's such a weird thing. I was like, man, I went down a rabbit hole today. But Keem, he founded a YouTube channel that has over 5 million subscribers, and it's kind of like, it's pretty good. I watched a little bit of a video today when I was out walking the dog. But he says, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm a degenerate gambler. May the crypto gods be with me. Let's win, settle this lawsuit, and see $2 XRP, right? And so what did he do exactly, and how degenerate of a gambler is he, Jeff? Well, I'll tell you, he spent $276,600 to buy 1 million XRP.
1 million XRP.
1 million XRP, Jeff. Okay. So now let's watch the video. This video, and then I'll go into another tweet. But I want to do this because somebody called him out on this thing and gave him some a little bit of hell. But let's listen to this. This is, again, one of my favorite videos.
Mills, I've been waiting a little bit to send you this video. Actually, it's not been that long. It's been less than 3 months. On January 17th, I bought 1 million XRP for $276,000. And you responded by saying, wow, you're such a scrub, a reprehensible influencer. You're going to directly cause some of your followers to have significant financial losses. I hope nobody commits suicide when XRP goes to 1 penny and they bought in when they saw how much you put in. Now listen, Brad, I'm just an influencer. I'm just a YouTuber. But you, sir, seem to be a very credible investor. I mean, look at this. You're even followed by him? Wow, you have credibility. Brad, the 1 million XRP that I bought for $276,000 is now worth $2 million in under 3 months.
This is the greatest thing ever,
awesome.
Jeff. That's the greatest really cool troll video, I think, ever in the history of troll videos. I absolutely love that video. And So there's a little bit of a follow-up here. Let's go to this. So here's an update. Update on Brad Mills. He responded but quickly deleted. He probably did some math and realized that you would make more investing in XRP than Bitcoin over the last year. You Bitcoin boomers will have to start understanding that young people don't want Bitcoin. They want utility, XRP. And so he screen captured this. We're in a bubble. XRP is going to a penny. But he deleted the tweet real quick. So so he totally trolled this guy, Brad Mills. I mean, totally just this is like epic stuff right here. And yeah, that was part of the
when did he post that originally, the original video?
The video of this one was 3 months after. This was in April 14th of 2021. So I think he bought it last January when it was around 20 cents, right?
20 cents, yeah. That was the time to double.
Matt Hamilton chimed in here. He says, obviously, it all depends on your time scales as prices of XRP, Bitcoin, ETH, all have gone up and down. But yeah, if you were DCAing into each of them starting this year, then XRP would have been your best investment. And he shows a little chart right there. It's like, there you go. There's your cumulative ETH, your cumulative BTC, and then there's your XRP. Shot right up from the beginning of the, look at that, from the beginning of the year.
Look at that.
So,
Man.
Yeah, total invested $1,560. Final would be $2,000. You know, so anyway, it just goes to show you that it outweighed everything, and people forget about this. They're like looking all around. Yeah, it's phenomenal, but I'm pretty
happy overall with all my investments within the crypto space. Can't complain.
No, I can't complain either. But I just that to me is that's just gold every single time. The other thing was I forgot to show you this part, Jeff. This is funny too. He kept adding to that. So he kept adding screenshots to it as it was going up. So obviously the screenshots cut off, but you see like he kept adding to it. Now it's at 328,000, and now it's at 560,000. He's doubled it, and then it was $670,000.
Man,
and then it was at 750, and then 820, 910 $1 million. 1.1, 1.3, 1.45, 1.55, 1.63, 1.85, 1.9, 1.95, and then he's getting ever so closer, and boom, target goal achieved. 265,000 turned into
here's the question
million.
For him. Yeah, here's the big question: is he still holding?
I don't know if he's still holding or not, but I would just say this: if he says target goal achieved, so maybe that was the sell point.
Maybe that's it. He bails out and he's holding a nice amount right there.
I wanted to reach out to him and get him on the podcast, although he doesn't accept.
He'd be fun.
Yeah, he'd be good. He'd be great to get on the podcast, just because I just want to talk about that master troll. That's like epic trolling. It's savage trolling. It's the best trolling I've seen. And again, one of the favorite videos of last year, and he totally nailed it too.
Yeah, he had said he should have said, "Don't hate me because I'm beautiful."
Could have said that too, Jeff. But he says, I love that, he gets it. He says, I'm a degenerate gambler. May the crypto gods be with me.
Well, I mean, you think about it, that is a pretty big gamble. Maybe he went all in. Who knows?
Hey, you know what? It's big risk, big gains, big risk, big losses. So it's not always there's always a little something there you got to be a little bit wary around. But here's something interesting, Jeff. Now we've seen a lot of exchanges, crypto exchanges, doing loans against assets, right? Digital assets. But look at this. Kraken has a new NFT marketplace to issue loans. So Jesse Powell, the CEO and founder, said the exchange was going to expand into a marketplace for NFTs and NFT-backed loans beginning in 2022. It's interesting. He said that the company plans to enter the NFT space in early 2022, hopes to add the feature to determine the liquidation value of an NFT. See how they said that? I want to know what the liquidation value is. So as soon as somebody hits that, we liquidate them, because we know how to do that with assets. And NFT, whether it can be put up as collateral for a loan. If you deposit a CryptoPunk on Kraken, we want you to be able to reflect the value of that in your account. Continuing, if you want to borrow funds against that. Now, what do you think about this on its face, Jeff? This whole idea of borrowing against a particular NFT that you own.
I mean, it's in the real world space right now. Yeah, I mean, real world in terms of legacy stock. I mean, you can and other there's mechanisms in place, to borrow against. So I'm just wondering, even in these different scenarios, is it good to hold to borrow with collateral, or is it better to borrow without collateral? And so that, I think, is at the end of the day what that's all about. And it's you have to go and factor in, what's the interest that's being paid. So the thing I like about borrowing against collateral, if you have to have the collateral to borrow against it and be able to leverage it. So if you have digital asset that's worth whatever it is, 10,000, 100,000, or 1,000,000, and you need money, you can sell it and never have it again, or now have to accumulate, or you can borrow against it. And then, as you pay back, you're basically paying yourself, and you're not having to deal with, taxes from sales and all these other scenarios. And if you don't have the credit, then, then it's not, I don't see it as a bad thing, as long as you're not borrowing to leverage to invest in something else and then put yourself in a really bad predicament, unless you know what you're doing, because people do that too. So I don't know.
Well, you know what I liken this to? I liken this to the next generation pawn shop. Okay, so if you look, let's take a look at this right here. So this is an illustration I just found. What is a pawn shop? So the idea of a pawn shop is you come in, you bring in a piece of jewelry, a watch, a guitar, something of value. And when you bring it in there, they assess what the value is. They give you a loan, right? And then you have to pay weekly on the loan, or they can liquidate you. If you miss a payment, 2 payments, they can liquidate you. And I kind of look at it the similar type of way. And I'm not saying that's how it works, but think about this. We're dealing with digital assets now. We're not even going into a physical pawn shop anymore. And it was funny because my early days when I first lived in Lauderdale, I lived in a questionable part of town, Jeff, in Fort Lauderdale, which I drive by once in a while just to kind of see how things are going on. I had a 1-bedroom apartment. I had some zany, I almost think I could write a book about some of the neighbors that I had. But one of the guys would be loading his stereo into his car, or, jewelry or whatever. I'm like, where are you going? Oh, I'm heading to the pawn shop. So it was like 2 days before payday. So we had to get a little bit of money, and then he would go rescue it that weekend. So he was paying something like 20% on all these loans. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm a kid in my 20s. I'm like, that seems a little bit crazy, right? It's crazy talk. But now that we're dealing in this space we're in now, we have the same thing, except it's digital. It doesn't really exist. We're going to be in the metaverse buying, digital real estate. I call it digital. I mean, is it something you really can have? Yeah, and it will exist in a space, in a metaverse. Same thing with the pawn shop. You have all these things in the pawn shop, and that's what I want to own in the metaverse, Jeff. I want Chip and Jeff's pawn shop, OTC pawn shop. I'll tell you what we'll do, Jeff. We'll be taking all kinds of stuff, NFTs, give you loans, whatever. You can come on in, give you a payday loan. It doesn't matter, Jeff. Just come on in. We'll take your stuff.
And then when you leave it there, then we put it up for sale.
We sell it as soon as they walk out the door, Jeff. As soon as they skedaddle, we're off. We're out of here.
Sold to the highest bidder.
No, we wouldn't do that. That would be horrible. No, we wouldn't do that. But I'm like, we're getting to that part of where it's starting to get a little weird, which is great. Look at this. Look at that, Jeff.
There Susie, you go. See, Susie agrees.
She totally agrees with you, Jeff. Totally agrees.
Yep.
That's 110% agreement there. Thank you for that, Susie. Much appreciate the support.
John Doe is saying pawn a lemon. Well, that's the whole purpose of the lemon tree.
Yeah,
kids, it's
turn lemons into lemonade, man.
That's right, and it's just a constant source of wealth.
Jeff, let me ask you.
Lemons.
Geez, here comes an off-topic question. How would you expect to hear that on the chain? But in your household, do you consume more lemons or limes?
Probably limes, I think.
Yeah.
But they end up in drinks.
That's the same in our house. We end up with we have lime and everything, and we actually had a dinner this past weekend, and my son-in-law said, "Oh no, they have everything." And I'm like, "Why do I have I need to go find a lime tree, Jeff." And he said, no, they love anything that has any kind of lime on it. They will eat it, they will consume it, they will drink it. And I was thinking about it.
It's great.
And he was right. He was absolutely right. I was spot on. But we always have a bigger ratio. I'd say like an 80-20% ratio of limes to lemons. Now, but lemons are good for certain things, right? I mean, lemons are better to me, in my opinion, in tea.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Lemon water. Lemon water is another one.
Yeah, it's better than lime water. But you know, it's lemon is good. So yeah, both are good. Both are good.
Yeah, they're both good. And this, to get back on here, phase 1 was speculation. Phase 2 is buying art and supporting artists. Phase 3, there's going to be some functional uses of NFT, and there sure are going to be some functional ones.
Sorry. Oh wait, I don't know which one you put up.
Yeah, but,
I was like, lemon water keeps the teeth away.
Well, that
Which
too.
one
But
did
look
you
at
put up?
JV said
Oh.
Gary consumes more oranges. That's
He
awesome.
devastates those oranges.
Yeah. The oranges, by the way, the oranges were not the security. As Deaton has pointed out so many times, the same way XRP is not the security. It's the whole scheme of how it's packaged. But of course, if you just keep saying it loud enough and long enough and, about the effort of others, then nobody will believe you. Jay put out a good tweet today. JV, the great, put out a tweet asking Gensler if he thought he was, when he stepped into the chairmanship, was it everything he thought it would be? And I felt like putting a tweet up there, but it was mean. I felt like saying, well, now he's the most hated SEC chair ever in the history, and period, end of list, right?
Well, he set himself up.
But not just by the crypto community. I think I've seen him getting torn up by a lot of different.
100%. Oh yeah, on the other side, the
other side too.
Community, the Wall Street Bets team, they hate him. Oh, they absolutely hate him. What is a Michelada? What in the world? Does that have something to do with beer?
I don't know, Jeff. I'm gonna have to Google that.
But a lime and a Michelada.
Sounds good though.
Damn.
Well, look at this.
Bombay Sapphire and tonic. That's always good too.
Oh, it's a Mexican drink. Here we go. Look at this, Jeff. This looks fantastic here. Let's add this here. There it is. It's a Mexican drink made with beer, lime juice, and sort of. Yeah. So there's a Colombian version that I've had of this. There has to be a certain Colombian. It's got to be a certain kind of beer. And that's funny because it's a Mexican version, and I've also had the Colombian version, which is fantastic. People think it's weird if you combine soda. And again, it's a Columbia soda, so it's really good. It's perfect for that. Maybe Heineken, possibly Corona. I've had it both ways. Put a little lime juice, very similar to this. Salt rim glass, and I have to tell you, that is one of the most delicious drinks.
You know what we should do? We should open a bar in the metaverse.
Jeff, we would be there 24/7. Drinking Micheladas there. I mean, hanging out with our people. Yeah. We gotta create it. We gotta do our own like little metaverse, and that's what happens. I think that one of our meetups next year will be in a metaverse,
except for in real
OTC verse. Yeah, we have to do a meetup
verse, except in real life.
In real life,
at a bar,
RL
or a restaurant,
and
the real life metaverse, the real life Floridaverse.
Trying to figure out what this is, Jeff.
Man, Scott E saying we're still in the accumulation phase. Keep on stacking. Liz is saying that Michelada is popular. It's pronounced Michelada.
Michelada. It's Michelada.
Michelada.
Yeah, so this is the Colombian version of it right here. This is the one that I've had.
Go.
There it is right there. Rafael.
Nice.
Right there. I don't know. So got some Colombian friends, and this is it right here, Colombian beer and soda drink, and that is also fantastic. Look at that, Jeff. Man. Isn't that just amazing?
It's Michelada.
Michelada. Whatever it is, let's see what they put in here. Let's see. There it is.
I'll stick
I don't know if
it's easier. Looks interesting.
Yeah, there you go.
Interesting. All right.
And there it is. And there you have it, Jeff.
Man.
So we got off topic once again.
So that's how life goes. Hey, did you hear that so there's Someone else is now being promoted as potentially being Satoshi.
Who's this now?
So
this
there's an
For real?
for real. There's an employee of former SpaceX intern
Come
insists that Elon Musk created Bitcoin.
I always
And
thought it was
says,
someone from the PayPal mafia, Jeff. I mean, they had every right to think about it, grow the money, but
apparently this intern published new evidence to support this theory that Elon Musk is actually Satoshi. So
that's interesting.
It is kind of interesting. You know, I mean, you think about it and you're like, well, if there was ever anybody that potentially maybe, I don't know, but here Steve wants to stand behind his theory that Elon Musk is Satoshi. He had a post on Medium. So he's now nearly certain that Musk is behind it. His conviction was reinforced by a phone call with Sam Teller, the entrepreneur's former chief of staff, back in 2017. Interesting, right?
Well, where's the evidence? I'm waiting for it.
Who knows? It might be in here somewhere. But he said Musk could have easily have written it because of his
anybody, Jeff, you could have easily have written it. I mean, gosh,
cryptography and economics. So yeah, Musk is proficient in C++, which was the original version of Bitcoin. So anyhow, I don't know. I just thought it was interesting. You know, you see.
So
people are going to keep hinting in this, and
I don't know that anybody. I don't think we ever find out. I think it's a good thing, because if you really did find out who it was, you wouldn't believe it anyway, unless there was like some proof and all that kind of stuff. I found this one to be interesting. Dogecoin Foundation works with the Ethereum co-founder on Doge staking. So the new Doge proof of stake version aims to allow anyone to get rewards for their contribution to running the network. Dogecoin Foundation, nonprofit organization behind the meme-based cryptocurrency Doge, working on a staking mechanism in collaboration with the Ethereum co-founder Vitalik Buterin. Well, word up there, people, but that's already going to be a possibility on Flare. Remember Flare? It's one of the, I think people are forgetting about this, but Flare's was the first to give the utility to that. And so this is interesting how this is going to work. So Vitalik Buterin, now how is this going to work, Jeff? They released its Dogecoin trail map, or a dog walk that the Dogecoin Foundation is committed to exploring, which believes it would contribute to Dogecoin's success. Part of the trail map, the Dogecoin Foundation is working with Buterin on building a uniquely Doge proposal for community staking version of proof of stake. Such version will allow Dogecoin users to stake their Doge and get extra tokens for supporting the network. It'll allow everyone, not just the big players, to participate in a way that rewards them for their contribution to running the network, and at the same time gives back to the whole community through charitable causes, which obviously was one of the original intents of the Dogecoin Foundation. They were pretty much dormant after 6 years with almost zero media activity. Part of the new team talks about Billy Marcus, blah, 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 Max Keller, whatever. So I don't know about this. This is interesting. It seems like a publicity thing, Jeff. I don't know how Ethereum is going to make that work.
I don't, this whole idea of it just doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make much sense. And I'm not saying it's not possible, but it's talking about running a network, staking, nodes, and all that, and the rewards. I mean, you have a better shot of actually doing it on Flare, because Doge, XRP, I think Bitcoin Cash, right, to be able to do that. And we're seeing a little bit starting to interact with the signal providers on the test net, the canary net, as they call it, which is with Songbird, and getting the rewards, right? Picking a signal provider and then seeing how that works. So once this goes on to the next version, once Flare comes out, once we get the tokens, it's going to be a whole new ballgame. And I really think that Flare is absolutely going to blow all this stuff away. We covered this a little bit last night, talking about how the rise of the alt ETH, which is pretty much anything that isn't Ethereum, that has a lot of the same programmability, smart contracts. We talked about Avalanche. We talked about Solana. We talked about other better things out there that I think are just going to, I don't see Ethereum going away, but I think its utility is going to potentially fade It could be the number 2 slot for store of value. You know, it's like, yeah, Bitcoin is store of value, and then Ethereum might be another store of value, because the fees, Jeff, as you and I have experienced over the past couple of days, just in trying to do stuff.
Outlandish. Did you see that one I sent you earlier? I was
Impossible.
trying to send 100, and it was going to be, it would have cost total $220, or it was $120 in fees.
It's just a massive fail on every front, Jeff. It's like,
I just don't get it. And it's everywhere. Everywhere you look, you know, I'm trying to move stuff off of Coinbase, off of Uphold, off of the different, I tried the Trust Wallet, I tried MetaMask, I've tried all of them, and it just, it just gets stuck with these ridiculous fees, no matter what you do. You know, so it's, you know, now, you know, I'm trying to figure out, you know, I guess it all comes down to value, you know, how much you have, you know, held, or how often you use a specific exchange. But to have these settlement times, right? 3-4 days, I get it. Binance is close to, you know, what was that? I think it was like 10 days, 10 days on a settlement hold before you can move it.
It's a little on the silly side. Jeff, just out of curiosity, do you know how they blocked people before the internet? It's sitting right on your desk. There it is, right there. Oh. Take it off. All you had to do is take that off.
Oh, that's classic.
Yeah, just take it off. Remember that? It's just like, you don't want it. Just there you go. Leave it on the desk. Nobody's going to bother you. It's like,
no one's going to bother me now.
And this is like the kind of phone that I think that Gary would have. Gary, Daddy G, Gensler would have something like this.
Well, yeah.
And if for people that don't know what that is, that's a rotary phone where you were dialing a 9, you'd have to put your finger in there and then
right there. So you got
go all the way to hit that stopper and let it go.
Just, yeah, really, really frustrating. You got the.
Yeah, it was just ridiculous, Jeff.
Can you hear that? Can you hear that? Whoa, dropping.
No, you got to put it in front of it. Though you put it, but it probably weighs like 23 pounds. Can't pick it up, Jeff.
Can't hear it. No, I won't pick it up.
I heard you go I heard that part of it, but
you got the
I just thought that was.
You got to take the earbuds out for a second. Hello.
And you know, let's see. Where is this other thing that I wanted to get into? This is kind of interesting. Again, I stumbled upon this this morning, but I don't know if you've ever heard of a French banker and philosopher named Richard Cantillon. So I just wanted to focus in on this, and this sounds very familiar today, but he was an 18th century French banker and philosopher. Cantillon noticed an early version of this phenomenon in a book where he wrote an essay on economic theory. His basic theory was that who benefits from the state prints a bunch of money is based on the institutional setup of the state. So in the 18th century, this meant that the closer you were to the king and the wealthy, the more you benefit. And the further away you were, then the more you're harmed. Money, in other words, is not neutral. This general observation that money printing is distributional to consequences that operate through the price system is known as the Cantillon effect. And there he is right there, apparently, right? But if you think about it, Jeff.
Looked like he was pretty close to the king.
But well, potentially. He was a banker, Jeff, but he did figure out that even a banker is closer to the king than the pauper, right? I mean, but isn't this a great idea? Probably an exercise of what the SEC is doing, right? So the further you are away, when you're the little people, no, you're going to get hurt, you're going to get harmed, you're going to, when they're printing money, then who benefits? Always the rich, Jeff. Always the rich, the bailouts, right? And this original article that I came across here had to do with this is the Cantillon effect and why Wall Street gets a bailout and you don't.
That's right.
So welcome to a big newsletter about the politics of money. I'm going to explain why the Fed and Congress, while attempting to throw money at everyone, disproportionately tends to aid certain narrow financial actors. And I just thought that was just apropos because it's just like what we're dealing with right now, the Cantillon effect.
That's it.
Yeah, the Cantillon effect going on with the SEC. Who gets saved, Jeff? The big players, the Joe Lubins of the world.
Out. Oh,
they always benefit.
Too big to fail.
Too big to fail. And whoever gets hurt, all of us.
Hey, it's interesting with all this stuff going on. There's a lot of interesting discussion and conversation about all these. Obviously, you get back to what Gary Gensler is always talking about. You got to protect the retail investor. you know, and always looking out. So maybe, you know, I'm looking at this one article and I said, you know what, maybe Gary's right. Maybe retail actually needs more protection from themselves and from some of these platforms, you know, while the SEC puts a stranglehold on innovation while they're destroying the entire crypto space here in the US, you know, all to protect and hope that they stop some of these $600,000 rug pulls that seem to be going on. And I look at this. So we've seen a number of these happen, right? So here's another one. NFT swapping platform MetaSwap allegedly rug pulled. 600,000 worth of BNB was stolen.
How did they do that?
Looking at this, and I say, man, December continues with malicious activity in the crypto space with a new suspected rug pull from MetaSwap. Reports emerge. Let's see, a protocol enabling NFT swaps over Ethereum, Binance, and Polygon has stolen 1,100 BNB shortly after the native token tanked. So, I mean, you look at some of these things that happen, and I say, you know what, you know, we're so new in the space. It does somewhat have a little bit of a Wild West, you know, feel to it. You look at where some of these platforms are. I think it's always going to go back to, you know, where are some of these swapping platforms based out of? You know, are they in the US? You know, what kind of jurisdiction is there? Are they outside the US? You know, and if they are outside the US, what kind of protection overall? Because, you know, you can't, you know, when people get cheated, at some point, you know, they're going to get caught. And something like this, if they know who they are, it's traceable, and they're going to get nailed. Now, if they're in some Wild West country and they can't get caught, but I think anywhere, you know, it's all going to boil back to that if you screw people over in the crypto space, they're going to figure out a way to find you, track you down, you know, and that's it, you know, and it's, but that's the good thing. That's the good side of the decentralized environment, you know, on the blockchain. And that at the end of the day, the more, groups like this get caught, the less there will be that want to do it. There'll always be the outliers, but they're going to find out that, hey, you know what, maybe it isn't worth it. It's just the speed at which they get caught. So,
I mean, it's not 6 million, it's 600,000. I mean, it's not even 6 million. I mean, it's really not worth it. I mean, it'll be gone pretty quick. It's not even, anyway, exactly. I wanted to hit, so, you know, it's interesting. I want to hit like 3 quick headlines here. We're not going to go into it, but here's Ferrari has a new deal with blockchain firm Velas. They hint at NFTs. Sweet. And I'm like, so that's interesting. So you have Ferrari, are Lambos next? Italian luxury Ferrari moving into Ferrari. Who else? Mercedes. Who else is getting into this? Ferrari Esports Series, the online series, competing in the F1 Esports Series, the official digital championship, including all the participating the FIA Formula One.
That's exciting,
right? It's pretty interesting. And then you have this one here. NFT trading volume surpassed 13 billion in 2021. This is not going away. That's just the start.
This is just the beginning.
Just the start. I mean, that's
the surface.
And that's just that's an estimate. That's based on what the block research, but it's incredible. As of December 28th, it's a massive 42,000, almost 43,000% increase compared to 2020 NFT trading volumes. That's insane, right?
It's amazing.
Of course, OpenSea facilitated nearly 88% of the total trading volumes, but of course, that's a big boat as well. I'm sure a lot more will get into it. And then entering the metaverse, you've got multiple metaverses, one avatar. Ready Player Me raises 13 million to make it happen. Companies building connected passport for the metaverse with support from big name backers. So yeah, this is getting pretty exciting.
But I think, Chip, like the internet, it's probably just a fad.
Probably, Jeff. Probably not going anywhere.
Right? Just like
ridiculous.
People in the 90s and early 2000s trying to explain the internet. Internet may be just a passing fad as millions give up on it.
That's so funny, Jeff, because I told you that's what I told you that last night. A buddy of mine had that conversation I ran into. It's just a fad. You must have read that article.
It's so awesome. I mean, you look at this. Researchers found that millions were turning their back on the World Wide Web, frustrated by its limitations and unwilling to pay high access charges.
Oh gosh!
Hey, does that sound familiar?
It
Just
sounds
like Ethereum, right?
Yeah. With that,
They say that email, far from replacing other forms of communication, is adding to an overload of information.
why don't we
Oh
track
my
down that
God.
James Chapman, the author of this article, whatever newspaper this was in? Do we know
Oh
what
my
paper this ran in?
God.
It wasn't like it was like a local one, not like a Wall Street Journal thing, right?
Yeah, look at this one. Teenagers' use of the internet has declined. They were energized by what you can do with the net, but they
Yeah.
have been through all this, and they realized there's more to life in the real world.
So even more fake news was going on back in the 90s, Jeff.
Not going back to it. I mean, could you imagine how great is that? 2 million Britons have logged off the internet. I mean, it's hilarious. And so, now these are the same exact people that are reporting on the fact that cryptocurrency is a passing fad, and we're starting to hear about them too. Some of the big stock investors.
Yeah, I'm curious. Does anybody know the whereabouts of Joe Tsai? If you don't know who he is, he's the Alibaba Group executive chairman. He also owns, I think, the Brooklyn Nets. So he did something pretty incredible, Jeff, today. He went on Twitter and he said, I like crypto. So I was like, that could be troublesome. He said he publicly declared that he's into crypto. And that might not be good in the state-sanctioned sort of groupthink. He's Brooklyn Nets. He bought the NBA franchise from Russian billionaire Mikhail Prokhorov in 2019 at $2.35 billion, league record at the time. Tsai owns the WNBA's New York Liberty and the San Diego Seals of the National Lacrosse League. I like crypto, he tweeted. That's it right there. And CZ said, I like Joe. And we have a bro fest going on here, Jeff.
Nice.
So yeah, of course, but I don't know if Joe's allowed to put that out there publicly. His comment comes on the heels of Brooklyn Nets star Kevin Durant signing a new promotional agreement with Coinbase, the largest U.S. crypto exchange. The deal will see Coinbase run crypto ads on Durant's sports website and donate to the NBA's charitable foundation to support the Utes. So anyway, it's getting crazy out there. And again, one of the things I probably wanted to mention to everybody is that all of these can be found on our website at onthechain.io. Simply, if you sign up for the newsletter, you'll get an email, because a lot of times we don't go in the article, or you're like, it's interesting, I might want to read that whole
Very
thing.
cool.
But you can just go into it. Like, for example, last night, you can come in here and just go in there and just kind of check it out and listen to the show. You can watch it. Here's all the articles that we talk about. So it has all the tweets in there, everything we feature on the show, some commentary. So there's a lot of stuff there that we get into. And then you'll probably see some stuff and say, that's weird. I don't remember talking about that, because probably didn't get to it. But you can at least see some of the stuff that we at least talk about in some of our comments, because this is the show prep that we do. And yeah, you can see it's pretty extensive. So we don't always get to everything, but you'll at least get a chance to take a look at it. And at least, if anything, we're bird dogging some pretty good stuff. And then you can go, that's cool, I'll just tweet that out right there. And there it is. Bam.
Pretty cool.
Tweet it out for everybody to enjoy, and they can go to the page and enjoy it as well. So share it on your favorite social network. So there you go.
I found this guy. Was a media historian. I'm not sure if this is the right guy, though.
What kind of a media historian? Not an internet historian, though, obviously.
No, if this is the guy, he's a professor of film studies at the University of Leicester. It's written several books.
Jeff. Lester.
Whatever. Lester.
I was schooled on that when I went over to the United Kingdom. I was like, Leicester. It's pronounced Lester. If you have any.
Lester. That's exactly how I would have pronounced it.
Yeah, and John Madden passed away, the football great coach, commentator, 85 years old. Interesting.
Madden.
And
you just brought the whole thing down.
There he is. Look at this. Right? So you have Matt. I know. So you have Matt Hamilton said very soon now there's a draft spec. It's XLS-20 for native NFTs on the XRP ledger, as opposed to the various ways people have been simulating NFTs there so far. Needs to be voted on by the network, but we'll be launching on DevNet very soon. It certainly will be a lot cheaper. Thank you.
That'd be so amazing.
Yes.
That'd be
super
so amazing to pull something like that off, and just make it so much easier to get into this space. It's just it gets really old trying to go through.
How about this? Patrick Bet David. Finish the sentence. Future looks, and then Scotty from XRP Army. Bright. Do they make NFTs on XRP network or whatever? These ETH gas price. And there's Keem again. It's funny. Here he pops up again. These ETH gas prices are insane. XRP would be way cheaper, way faster, etc. Yeah, very
so
soon. There's there's it right there. Oh.
Yep. Hey, did you see this video? This was from a couple days ago. Joe Rogan. So, this Tim Dillon was trying to explain and sell Joe Rogan on the Metaverse.
Yeah, he was a little bit. It was like somebody hearing about the internet for the first time.
I got it right here.
Yeah, put it up there.
Let me pull it up.
Put it up there.
Here we go. Here we go. Oh wait, I could take it off again.
Wait, do you have the whole thing?
Yeah,
I just saw that.
It's like a couple minutes.
Yeah, I just saw that one segment. So let's do it.
Yeah, hang on. Let me pull it up. There we go. Got to click a lot of buttons. Here we go. Make sure it's there. There we go.
Scam. The country is run on a succession of scams.
But how is this going to protect us from China?
Ooh, well, I don't know.
Isn't that the real issue?
Well, it's going to. It's
They're buying up everything.
It'll pump up the economy. Do you own any digital real estate?
What?
Do you own any digital real estate?
I'm gonna ask you again. What?
I mean, I know
What do
you
you
have
mean by
like a house and
digital
everything.
real estate. What does
Meaning
that mean?
you don't. It's real estate in the metaverse. Like you own it. It's real estate. I don't understand. You're such a boomer. You need to own digital real estate, Joe.
A
Oh my
boomer.
God! Snoop Dogg paid
He's in it.
$450,000 to be Snoop Dogg's metaverse. Oh, someone paid $450,000 to be Snoop Dogg's metaverse neighbor. Wow, he's now a resident of the Sandbox metaverse.
In 20 years, you're not going to be able to go outside because of the climate. So you're going to spend most of your time in a pod, and you're going to live online. Your
Oh my
NFTs are going to be
God.
your precious art, and you're going to live in the metaverse in digital real estate.
So is Snoop making all that money? Like if it's $458,000 to be his neighbor, is that his money now?
No, it's just like
No.
when a celebrity moves into a building, people want to live in it.
Okay, good question now. So who gets that money? Where's that money?
The person who owned the land.
That's nonsense.
What do you mean?
It's nonsense.
How is it nonsense?
They don't get
land.
all of it though.
But there's
What do
no
you mean
land.
there's no land? There's
Where's the
a
land?
digital
So
land.
this little video is what it is. This is
Look
the
at this.
sandbox. This is Snoop's land in the sandbox.
What? Go back to that. What? What is this?
This is the sandbox.
Hold on.
So I'll pause it real quick.
No. Keep it
Okay.
going. I want to see how this plays out.
He's never heard of Sandbox.
Launching December 2nd. Starting time.
Never forget to pass.
No, we gotta
Right.
cut. We
Yeah,
gotta
we're
cut
gonna
that
get
because
cut. Yeah.
we gotta cut that.
Yeah.
So each of those
man.
little blocks are for sale.
Joe
And
Rogan can do that.
essentially,
But
yeah, it says like
All right. So anyhow, you get the idea. I find it interesting, because a lot of people are shocked like this. So I don't think Joe Rogan is on his own. People are looking at this and saying, so you're in this sandbox or you're in whatever. Are you really going to spend $450,000 on, real money? Every so often, Chip, I still go into that Upland game, and buy up different properties over there, and they're expanding around the U.S. And now
That's
you
awesome.
can build and construct on the property.
the thing is, though, I think it's got to go
crazy.
metaverse though, because it's just a little bit too 1.0. It needs to go to 10.0. I love the idea of it, but again, to make it, the metaverse is going to blow it away. So they gotta transform.
They gotta definitely transform it.
and
You
it
gotta
will
figure
go
out,
crazy. It'll go crazy.
it'll go insane. But this whole idea is like, what do you do with it other than it just being a game? And people are trying to get some real estate in a game. Like, what's the end purpose of it? I don't think anybody really knows. And you can't have so many different metaverses, or maybe you can.
Oh,
I don't
there's
know.
going to be tons of them, Jeff. It's going to be everyone's going to be a different one, a game, everything. But I just want to remind everybody, while you're here, go ahead and please, if you haven't yet, click that subscribe button, the thumbs up, the thumbs down. I know they have a thumbs down, but just click the thumbs up.
Doesn't even
Subscribe.
work anymore. You can click
Yeah,
it.
it's weird. Like you can click it, we can see it, but nobody else can see it. It's so weird. But yeah,
I like
you
when
can just
people
go
can
ahead and
see it.
subscribe, and
It's a lot more fun.
yeah, it's a lot more fun. You can follow us up on the Twitter there, on the chain, add on the chain with underscores
On the
between them.
chain.
We should be getting the other one hopefully sometime in 2022. So we just be add on the chain, not with the hyphens or spaces and all that stuff.
So look at that. Sophie
Utes.
and the Utes are the best.
Utes,
And
bestest.
we got the bestest, and we got the smartest group right here on the chain and all of YouTube crypto, which is
Yeah, right.
awesome. We're all proud of OTC. We got such a great group here, and it's everyone
do.
here that's part of the chat, part of those that aren't even participating in the chat, but they're here listening and tuning in, and it's just fantastic. You know, the support that we get comments on the video too. So we get the chat, we got the video, you know, or the you know, the after the stream, whatever, but it's outstanding.
Yeah, I
really,
just want
really
to. Now we only have 2 shows left in 2021. We will be back obviously in
Whoa.
2022, which would
22.
be I don't know. Are
The
you
whole
doing a
year
show on
from now.
Saturday? It's
No, that's
No.
New Year's Day.
It's New Year's Day, so maybe we'll take
No one's
off
gonna be awake.
that and Sunday. Maybe
in
we'll
the
be
right
back
mind.
next Monday. We'll start off the year. Take off that just for the weekend, and we'll be back next Monday. So we have 2 shows left. You don't want to miss them. We're going to be doing some reviews of things that we thought were interesting. And you guys can always tweet us too. Let us know what you thought was one of the interesting, memorable moments of 2021. There were certainly a lot of them, but if you have something you think is interesting, we'll mention it if it's worthy and it fits into the thing. I mean, there's too many things to go on about, but surely we will do our best to cover that, right, Jeff?
That's right. Oh, it'd be, yeah, for sure, 100%. You know, but yeah, that would be amazing if people remember some specific, you know, moment from 2021, their, you know, best favorite moment, something like this, maybe.
Well, I actually have
Don't
one
know.
that I came across something too that I want to play tomorrow night, which is something from our other channel. And if guys, I'll start dropping that. We start dropping that every video, every time we do that. So everybody can go in the chat and go subscribe to our other channel. It's 7,500 subscribers. And we have some plans
start
with things
throwing
we'd
that
like.
one
We start doing that one as well. But I saw somebody that started a YouTube channel about 4 months ago and has 18,000 subscribers, Jeff. So
Nice.
not to say that it's not quality stuff. It is quality, but it's just like, man, that's incredible, right? I mean, Scotty,
Happy New Beer. I mean,
Michelada.
Michelada.
Michelada. Thank
Could
you
have
for
a
that, Scotty
Michelada.
dog. Appreciate that.
Mish-
Appreciate that,
Some
Scotty
mish up a
dog.
little Michelada.
And that's all we have, Jeff. I mean, you guys know when we stream, we have 2 shows left. We don't want to get into details, and if you're listening casually, but you're not participating in the chat, just jump in, click that thumbs up. It helps the channel out a lot. Or you can tell your friends, you can wake your neighbors, and you can send that weird communication thing called an email. So
What's that?
The internet is just a fad, Jeff.
Oh, yeah. Forget about
Email's
that
never going to
concept.
catch on. It's just ridiculous.
Email, that whole
no one will ever
internet
use
thing.
it.
People aren't going to, no one wants to engage with each other.
Beep, 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 beep. So anyway, that's all we have, guys. We will see you on the next one. Chip and Jeff out. Have a good one.
Out.
See you tomorrow.
Are you down with OTC? Please like, subscribe, and click the bell to be notified when the next video drops.